Where do you go when you want to know about the truth in trucking? Introducing Truckin City Media, hosting a platform where we're reaching out, featuring news stories from around the country on trucking that Main Street just can't handle. Also featuring the first of its kind show live on YouTube, where you can shape the future of trucking. Don't just sit back on the sidelines and complain about what ain't right. Come on our show and make a difference. Details coming soon. Truckin City, we don't just fill the streets with nonsense you can't handle. We own the streets. Howdy ho drivers, did you ever walk into a discount store and of course the first thing you see is the clearance bins? Sometimes you find a real good deal on something and real handy you can use. Well, that's what we do here at Truckin City. We scour the internet, find stories from all over, and we put them here for you so you know what's going on in trucking today. Truckin City Media is your place for everything the mainstream don't want you to see. Let's go meet the face behind Grumpy Old Truckers. Good evening, Frank. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How are you, Steve?
I'm peachy. I got my coffee. Frank, you have basically started your group at about the same time I started mine. And what's interesting to me is the trajectory differences between both groups. But the one thing viewers know about is my history. They don't know very much about yourself. Introduce yourself to the audience and let them know what makes Frank Frank.
My name is Frank Frazier II. Basically, I have, been in the trucking industry for 23 plus years, and one particular person that I follow caught my eye, and I started watching his videos, and just like with Steve's, I decided to make my own group. At the time was called PTF, which was short for Professional Trucker Frank. I want to come on here, and I don't normally get on here and rant, but I have a major rant this time. I have news for you folks. Speeding through work zones is not only unsafe, it's also very unprofessional. Next thing I know, one of my members actually came up with the idea whenever I did a poll on changing the name once again, and he came up with the idea, let's do Grumpy Old Truckers. And I thought, well, okay, I'll put it on the poll, we'll see what happens. And it got the most votes, so here we are.
There you go. What kind of experience have you had in how long? When did you get started in trucking, basically?
Well, I began my career in the latter part of 2000. Mm-hmm. I went to Central Votech truck driving training, got my Class A CDL there. I have done dry van, I've done a little bit of flatbed, I've done tanker, not Class A tanker, but Class B.
Right.
I've done reefers, and pretty much, I have driven school buses, which I enjoyed. Kids love me, I love my kids, yeah, but it just don't pay enough.
Your group is gaining traction fast. One of the things I find interesting, and I stare at intently every time I tune up the front page of the group, is the artwork on the banner. Do you have a story as to how you came up with that, or is that just something that you landed on?
I actually went and discovered some software. So I took a few of those shots, and I sat there and I looked at them, and I determined that this was the best one for the group.
Yeah.
And so far, I haven't had any complaints, and most people actually like that photo.
Yes. Oh, I do too. And that's one of the things. I didn't know your group existed until you joined mine and started interacting with me. The AI that you mentioned is a good place to go with that, because one particular post was of a gentleman saying that his uncle was a truck driver, and the post was an image of an old fat guy in a truck with a Santa cap on, and that post as of now has reached more than 3.5 million people.
Well, let me tell you, I actually, whenever I began with this group, I wanted it to be a family-orientated trucking group. Got a lot of people in there that are truckers, that are retired truckers, disabled truckers. I've got a few that have their own groups and have joined with me because they like my group.
And I'm definitely counting myself as one of those. Frank, any advice about joining your group?
Make sure you answer all our questions. Take time to read through our rules and become part of our family. We do have a lot of problems with what do they call those, bots and scammers and spoofers.
That is not only an issue with your group, but that is also a Facebook issue. And if there's one thing that I can put out in this video is sending a message to the people at Facebook to get their crap together, because bots are infesting all groups and basically the platform as a whole. Overall, I'm quite proud of what we've accomplished. You and I have worked together for quite a while now. At the end of the day, we have but one goal, and that's to connect with others, whether we are in the industry or whether we're retired and no longer part of it and still want to be connected. So, as far as the group itself, what would be, in your mind, thoughts about where the group goes from here?
Well, seeing how that I was actually hoping just to gain up to 1,000 members by the end of the year of 2023, and it blew up, I'd say so far so good. Our group looks wonderful, and I hope it continues to grow, and that Facebook will allow us to grow even larger. I'm looking forward to, 500,000 viewers and members before the end of this year. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
And I appreciate all the members, both for That's Truckin' and mine. Don't just come see my page. Definitely become a member of That's Truckin'.
Well, like the world of trucking, I'll say it this way: without trucks, you get it yourself. We get in these trucks every day, we turn the key, we never know from day to day what the real truth is. The only truth we do know is the white line on the right and the yellow one on the left. If you want to know more about grumpy old truckers, just look them up on Facebook. They're the best group in the market. Grumpy old truckers. Because at the end of the day, if you've been in trucking 35 years, that's exactly what you are. In the meantime, we'll keep it real, so you keep them rolling.